afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first day of the Walnut Lodge Foundations Intensive. I know that there's a lot of people out there. I'm so excited. I know that Joanne and Corey and Millie are there, and if you text, I can say your names if you want. If you like being anonymous, that's super cool. But thank you all who are out there, and that's all I'm going to say because I really want to get going. Because I actually have some things to talk about today, since this is the first day. This is foundations. And so what we're doing is we're developing a foundation in our physical body for the practice of yoga, or for the practice of anything, really. We're trying to establish efficient patterns. Right now, I'm feeling like I want to start over. I want to do everything from the beginning again. And I do this typically, at least once a year with my classes, because I'm always trying to find like a new way, a more fun way to get at what it is we need to get at. So we're going to put a different kind of idea in our mind as we go through, especially this first class. This class will not look like this tomorrow. So today's going to be a little bit of pretty fun exploration. All right, so that's probably enough. Now, for those of you that don't know me out there, if you have questions, text me, message me, whatever. I will answer, whatever questions that you have. And for those of you that don't know me, I know there's some brand new people here. I have a rather dark sense of humor, and I'm really always looking for fun, because I think that learning proceeds way more quickly if you enjoy it. I'm thinking that's like a no-brainer, right? All right, so today what we're going to think about is our center. This is foundation, so where's the middle of us? What's the most basic thing? Well, it's our spine. All right, so head to pelvis. So we're going to work this first week on what it is that motivates, moves, twists, bends our spine. That's kind of our focus. Now, we can't remove our arms and our legs and just kind of flop around as a torso, and that actually would be helpful, because what's difficult about what we're going to do is trying to not use your arms and your legs for things. So we're just going to pretend that we don't have arms and legs, and we're going to proceed with all of this, just thinking about how we motivate with just our axial spine. All right? So just come to a seated position. You could be on a chair. You could be in a hero. I'm sitting on a cushion. I don't care what you're sitting on, but make sure that you feel like you can sit just nice and tall. And close your eyes. And just start with a nice big belly breath. So you're going to breathe into the belly. Actually, and then take it up to your chest and into your shoulders. So we're going to do a complete yogic breath. And then release. Now just close your eyes and keep doing this while I'm talking. All right? So you're trying to take in as much air as you can. Breathe nice and slow. And feel the different parts. So we start this with the diaphragm. You feel the displacement into the abdominals, and then you feel the ribs work, the musculature of the ribs. You feel the shoulders lift. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to expand the volume of our thoracic cavity. So as the volume expands, our air goes in. And we use the breath, of course, to breathe. And in yoga, this breath can also help you identify and then engage with muscles that you kind of don't normally use for anything but breathing. All right, so just kind of click in and feel, especially in the upper part of your chest, as you finish that breath and take in as big a breath as possible. And then as you release, just feel the air kind of drain out. And remember, we're trying to take as much air in as possible, so it's more like an exercise of breathing while we're breathing than just a nice easy breath. And then maybe you're noticing that as you take that big breath, maybe your pelvis shifts forward and the spine goes a little straighter on that inhale. And then as you exhale, your pelvis kind of rocks back a bit as the rib cage drops. Just a couple more of those. So we're just pulling our focus inward, and we're just taking little things to pay attention to. And then just one more. This time when you inhale, feel your head lift and try to keep it on top of your spine. Maybe the chin dropped a little bit. All right, then if your eyes were closed, open them. Now, we're going to pull our jaw back and reach our chin forward. And pull our jaw back, so you're going to and reach our chin forward. So if I'm doing it sideways, I'm pulling my jaw back and I'm reaching my chin forward. And I'm pulling the jaw back and I'm reaching the chin forward. Just nice and easy, pulling the jaw back and reaching forward. And pulling it back and reaching it forward. Now keep doing this motion of pulling the jaw back and then reaching forward. And you feel the front of your neck work and you feel the back of your neck work. And if you kind of step back and feel what else is going on, or look, you can see your chest going back and your chest forward. And your chest, actually, it's going back and lifting up. And as the chin goes forward, it's dropping down. And it's pulling back and in, and it's forward and dropping down. So really feel this from the back of the neck and forward. We're going to do one more. Back, this time forward. Now just sit here with your chin forward. Okay, this is this rounded forward head thing that we're trying to get out of. Actually, now we have the rounded chest forward and looking down. So you feel the back of you in a curve. Tilt your chin up. Drop it down. And just feel the back of your neck engage as you lift your chin up. And then drop it down. And then pull yourself back up to vertical. All right, so half of this is about posture. So you want to have your head on top of your spine, on top of your pelvis when you're walking around to keep the forces balanced. All right, so today though, we're going to motivate with head and pelvis and spine in a bunch of different ways. So just kind of log the little bit about your posture in the back of your brain. So we're going to use our head to just kind of motivate the actions of the spine for right now. So drop your chin down. Go as far down as you can without leaning forward. And feel your neck stretch. And then feel that stretch go all the way down into the upper back. And then leading with your chin, push your chin up. And then leading with your nose, pull the jaw in and drop the head back down. So reach the chin, look up, eyes go with, pull your jaw in, eyes go down, nose reaches to your chest. Easy. Push your chin out, eyes go up, look up. Pull the jaw in, nose goes down, feel the stretch of your neck. Couple more. Keep going on your own timing. What we're trying to feel here is the muscles that you're using to just make your head go up and down. And I say just, but your head weighs a lot. So the muscles are doing quite a bit of work, but they're used to that. Now if we keep going for another 5 minutes, everything will get tired. But I want you to just isolate this movement. So jaw, nose, and then you kind of release down, feel the stretch. Chin, back of the skull, chest lift. You could feel that upper back working. Couple more. Just with your head. Super slow if you need. Try to figure out where those muscles engage. You can feel them work. That's why we do so many repetitions. And this up and down, this flexion extension really is going to help people that have to sit all day. Now, just a super fun thing to do. Look up. Keep looking up. Now go down with your chin. But keep looking up towards your eyebrows. Keep looking up towards your eyebrows. And then look down at your chest. And then it'll be kind of your nose and your cheek. You can't see them as you go up. And then as you go down, look up at the ceiling. Keep looking up. Keep looking up. Look up towards your eyebrows. Sometimes your eyes get tired or hurt. And then look down as your head goes up. We're going to do just one more of those. Look up as the head goes down. Look down as the head goes up. Look up. Keep them up. Sometimes it's really hard to do this as your chin goes down. Look down as your head goes up. Now do a couple more on your own timing. By putting a contrary motion in with your eyes, you're going to disrupt a pattern that you have. You're going to feed more information into your system. It's going to be a brand new pattern because your eyes get locked into specific movements. And by doing opposite things with your eyes, your body kind of has to reconfigure, because where your eyes look and what they do is a muscular action. So that muscular action has to get put into all the other actions that you're doing to make the movement happen. So we're doing something super different if you don't do this on a regular basis. Now then, just take your head straight forward and look straight or close your eyes, and then just kind of feel your neck, like tilt your head around. Mine always feels a lot looser after I do that, but people that have to stare at a screen all the time, that's a super easy, I guess you could call it a hack, to loosen up the connections. Now we're going to tilt our right ear to our right shoulder. Keep your left shoulder pressing down. So you can feel that stretch. That's a kind of a no-brainer. You feel the stretch going from the base of your skull on the left down, actually to the shoulder point. And then just take the head back up and tilt to the other direction. Now, you'll probably be able to tilt one way easier than the other unless you're lucky and super balanced. So just kind of check that out. And then come up. Excuse me. And then tilt to the right again and feel that stretch. And we're just going completely side here because we're not really working on a stretch so much as an awareness. And take it up. And one more time to the left. And then take it up. Now instead of tilting, take your jaw and push your jaw to the left as your ear goes right. Swing your jaw underneath. Push your jaw to the right as the head goes left. Now just keep going back and forth, kind of like a bobblehead doll. But I want you to lead with the jaw. So the jaw is going opposite the top of the head, and the axis of your face is just tilting one side to the other. Just tilting on the top of your neck. So as my head tilts right, my jaw goes left, and head tilts left, my jaw goes right. Just a couple more of those. Because why we're doing this is the head is the top of this spine that we're going to be exploring. And so we can use the head as motivation for movement. One more, right and left. And then come to center. And then just take profile right and center and profile left and center. Now as you go to the right, look behind you and see if maybe you can go another inch or so, and center and go left and look behind you and center. Now we're going to reverse the eyes. So you're going to look right, take your eyes left, everything come back to the middle, look left, eyes right, come back to the middle, look right, eyes left. It just feels different, doesn't it? And back to the middle, look left, eyes right, back to the middle. One more time. Go right, eyes left, back to the middle, go left, eyes right, and back to the middle. So our head can motivate the actions of the spine. What are they? Flexion. Head goes down, and we pull our head and our tail together. We collapse or we constrict in the front plane. Flexion. Extension. From flexion you go back to straight, and then we can go up and into that back bend. A lot of us lose that upper back mobility. Come back up. And then lateral flexion, starting with the head. Now just go all the way. Go down as far as you can and feel that rooted in the left. But just kind of notice that once we do this, kind of you just tilt from the pelvis mainly. How many of you are really going up and over? All right, we'll get to that in a second. And then just go head and feel the lateral to the side. So right now with me, I'm just tilting from my pelvis. I'm making my head go, and then I'm just going sideways. But my spine is not doing a whole lot. Now if I put my hand on the floor and put my hands on my left rib cage and then pushed my rib cage up, you can feel that the middle part of your spine is actually now curving to the side. So the muscles on the right side are pulling the ribs down towards your hips, and the left side is opening, and you can make that happen. And then reverse. Hands on your rib cage, and then down you go. Now use your hand and then push. Push those ribs up. Just feel the change in the rib cage going up. So feel really a bend. And so this is actually an example of what we're going to try to be aware of, become aware of today, is how much we go to different directions, but we don't really use all the movements of the spine that we could. So we have lateral flexion, forward flexion, backwards extension, and the last thing is twist. So put your hands on your rib cage, and let's just twist from the rib cage. Twisting is pretty complicated. Come back to the center, and then just twist to the left. Just feel that twist. And come back center. All right, so I have these props here. Sometime during this class, we might use a bolster, a block, or I have a rolled towel. And I brought this rolled towel because a lot of people don't have blocks and stuff, but I can get a towel and a towel to roll up and almost be as big as this. But definitely I can get it bigger than the block. And I have these towels are kind of nice because they don't compress that much. You can roll them really tight and actually get something pretty solid. So I'm sure that, you got, or if you have a pillow around, that's good, but the pillow sometimes is too squishy. All right, so that's our little kind of intro warm-up, thinking that we're going to work these actions of the spine. And now we're just going to get into a little bit more motion. But don't turn your brains off, because without your brain engaged in what we're doing, nothing is going to stay. It'll just be kind of going through the motions. We need our brain to engage. And the engagement that I'm looking for is your brain has to register what it feels like and what is different. What it feels like and what's different. All right, so we're going to go back to this idea that we don't have any arms and legs. All right, so having some fun, right? When's the last time you thought about that? Unfortunately for me, I think about it too much. All right, so let's just start with ourselves laying on our stomachs. All right. So throw your arms out to the side. And remember, we're not going to use them. We're not going to use our legs. Just lift your back up and go down. Lift up and go down. Feel the muscles that you're using. Lift up and go down. Again, lift up. You can feel a lot of low back and go down. Lift up, extend, and go down. Just one more. Lift up and go down. Now we're going to do flexion. So we're going to pull our rib cage to our pubic bone and release. And again, pull and release. And again, pull. You can see a little bit of motion and release. So using the abdominals, and again, pull and release. And again, pull and release. One more time. And pull and release. Now, if we were an inchworm, we would be able to pull and then release forward and creep along our yoga mat, which we might do later, and release. All right, going back to extension. This time, start with your head, and I'm going to take my glasses off here for a second. So put your forehead down, feel your back, neck's kind of almost in a nice line. So start with your chin. Reach your chin forward and come up, and then pull the jaw in to come down. Again, reach forward and come up, pull the jaw in and down. Again, reach the jaw forward and come up, pull the jaw in and down. Keep going forward. You can feel a little bit more muscles working. Now you can feel your neck and your upper back. Chin and up and jaw. One more. And chin and up and jaw and down. Now, I want you to pull your forehead along your mat and release. So a little bit more upper back in this flexion. So before we just pulled the lower part, now pull and release. Feel the ribs go up and release. Pull it along, let it go. Pull it along, let it go. A couple more. Pull it along, let it go. Pull it in, let it go. Again, pull it in, let it go. Pull it in and let it go. All right, rest there a minute. Now, while I'm talking, let's grab either any of those props. So bolster, block. If you're going to use a block, use it on the lowest position. And then put it underneath, about the lower edge, about 4 or 5 inches away from your spine. And then just curve over. Now, for some of you, you don't like this, so you can take something underneath your head. If you can just let your head go, it's finishing the curve of the spine. Now, and the first couple breaths, your head might not be on this floor. Just give it a few. But if you have a forward curve, it might be too much, so you might need this underneath your head. All right. So I'm sure you felt all of that core work when we're laying on our belly, trying to pull the head to the pelvis. And you felt all that extension, all the extensors when you're laying on your back or laying on your belly and lifting up into extension. So right now, we're just stretching. And I'm going to just turn to the camera here and talk a bit while you lay there. There are 2 things that stop your movement, well, actually 3 things. One is just lack of flexibility. It's called passive insufficiency. So are you super tight so that it's really difficult to move? 2, active insufficiency. That's, are you weak? Do you have the ability to do that? And the 3rd thing is, do you have the movement pattern established? Or have you not done the movement in such a long time that your body kind of forgets how to do it? So we're going to work on like kind of all 3 of those over the course of these 4 weeks. And you'll find that the patterns come back pretty quickly. Here what we're doing is you're feeling this stretch of the ribs, the whole front line really, into the throat, shoulders. So we're stretching that connective tissue. Now what I want you to do is take your ribs and push them up to the ceiling when you inhale. And see if you can feel your back extensors. Those are the muscles laying on either side of your spine. See if you can feel those engage. You just use them. Mainly what we used for the back extensions was lower, lumbar. And then when we added our head, it was upper. And right now, I think you're going to be able to feel the middle of your back. This is usually the place that we can't feel very well because we don't use this. And if you have very poor posture, then it's really hard to feel this. But these are the muscles, these mid-back muscles, these are the muscles, the extensors, that we're going to use to help us get a nice even extension to the back and better posture. So every time you inhale, up. So now we're just kind of improving our ability to feel the middle of our back. Log it into your brain. Feel the whole line extend. There's a whole bunch of extensors, so you can segment out them and use them independent of the other to a certain degree. But you have to be able to have the muscle pattern, the neuromuscular linkage. All right, so just a couple more of these. And it feels good. If there's one thing And we're going to roll off of the bolster to the right. And then just lay there and take a couple of breaths into your back. And then we're going to come on to our stomach. Now, what you're going to do is either take something soft, either your towel or your bolster or a pillow, and you're going to put it kind of underneath just your ribs. So it's right at the lower edge of my ribs. My head's on the ground. Now what I want you to do is when you inhale, push up into this midsection of your ribs. I'm lifting my head to talk, you just keep breathing. So because that pillow is underneath your ribs, you feel the push of that back up to the ceiling. Now when you inhale, try to push your breath up and to the sides so that you feel like your back is going like this. So it's going inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You're trying to expand through the back and feel that breath. So push it to the side, let everything else just kind of relax. Now what you might notice is as you're breathing those ribs to the side and up to the ceiling, you might feel your pelvis kind of scoop in towards your chest because of the expansion is giving you a little bit more of a curve. But mainly I want you to feel what it's like to breathe into your back here. Couple more big inhales.
Keep going.
One more. And then just remove that and just lay there a couple of breaths. Now we're going to repeat the movements that we started with and just see if just kind of visiting those places with your breath gives you a little bit more ability to kind of link into the movements that we're looking for. All right, so forehead down, and we go. Inhale first. Reach the chin, and go up. And for me, it's really quite different. And chin reach out, breathe it up, and then exhale, and release. Couple more. Inhale, chin, and we go up. Exhale, and release. Inhale, chin, and we go up. Make sure to tilt the head as you go down. Inhale, reach, and go up. Exhale, and down. Two more. Inhale, reach, and go up. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, reach. Big. Feel those extensors. Actually, let's do one more. And really try to feel the middle of your back. Inhale, chin, head, upper back, middle. Exhale, and down. Now pull your forehead in and release. And again, pull in, feel the ribs go up and release. Inhale and push and release. And pull it in and release. And pull it in and release. Let it come off the ground. And pull it in. And then feel the muscles kind of a little bit above the waist and in the back of the rib cage, right here. And up. And release. 2 more. Up. Release. And up. And release. Turn your head to your favorite side profile. And then just take a couple of nice big breaths into your shoulders. Relax your neck. Couple. And then try to feel your rib cage. It's now moving sideways, forward and back, possibly up and down. The rib cage expands in 3 directions. After those, I'm really feeling my ribs move side, because that's the one thing that we don't really do that much. Now, turn your head to the other side, profile, breathe. And then come back center. And we're going to roll onto our right side. And just bend your knees just a little bit. Now, let your head hang unless you have inner ear problems, balance problems, and then just put something small under your head. Again, you have to deal with, your own issues. If you can just let it hang, what you'll feel is a little bit more stretch. All right, so I'm sure that you felt the difference after those breathing exercises. So we're going to do the same thing here for lateral. So we're just trying to bend our spine to the side so we can lift up, right? Or we can take the lower part of our ribs and push it up to the ceiling. So we're either going to go this way or we're going to go this way. So actually we'll go both ways. So starting with your head, ear into your shoulder, and pick up, feel this. And release. And again, head first, just like we did sitting, pull the ribs down and release. And again, head first, pull the ribs down, and release. And again, feel the jaw, head pull, and you can feel the whole thing go, right? And again, jaw, head, pull, and down. Now, let's go to the underside. Pull up and release. So what you're doing here is you're taking your pelvis and you're using your pelvis as the motivator to extend the top part of your spine. Couple more. So push. It actually feels good in your low back if you're tight there. So you're pulling your hip into your waist. So we're getting some side flexion here. All right, couple more. And then let that go. Now, we haven't really tried, or we've tried, but for me, what I'm feeling is more low, and then this was high. So how can we get into that area right here? It's kind of, this is a sticky place. We don't have a lot of movement, but if you put your hand here, then feel your rib cage pushing up into your hand, feeling the scoop of it. So we're going to go inhale and release. So leading with the rib cage, you have a lot more motion. Inhale, push it up. And it's not like the hip isn't going to work, but now what's happening is you're activating a little bit more of your upper back, mid back. Up and release. Inhale, up, release. Inhale, up and release. Couple more. Inhale, up and release. Inhale, up and release. Inhale, a lot more motion and release. Two more. Inhale, up and release. Inhale, up and release. All right. Let's just roll onto our backs. And then just kind of get a read on this before we go to the other side. Just feel how much different that left side feels than the right. You know, and I do this a lot because I think it's important for you to really believe that these simple things make a difference. Some people don't. Let's go to the other side. We have to kind of give our body credit. It's an intelligent machine. It's a sensory gathering machine. What we do with that sensory input is what makes us who we are. But we gather the same way, and I'm hoping that what you're learning here is that we're not really increasing our ability. No, we are increasing our ability here. It's not that when we sat on this mat we couldn't do all of these things. It's just that we have lost maybe some of our connection to the different parts of it. Or maybe we never had the connection. But you do have the connection. You just have to kind of figure out how to access it. So starting this lateral work with our other side, or right side up, start with the head. All right? How high can you come up? Now, if we could use our arms here, we'd come up a lot higher, but remember, we're just kind of pretending that we're just really a head, a spine, and a pelvis. So, we're going to pull our ear up to our shoulder and lift up. You can feel this, and go down. And again, pull your ear up, feel the muscles that are working, and let it drop down. Take an inhale, and then exhale up. A little easier, and inhale down. Now feel your jaw. Exhale, pull your ear and send the jaw the other way, and inhale down, and exhale up, and inhale down, and exhale up, and inhale down. Feel the ribs, and exhale, pull, and inhale, release, and exhale, pull, and inhale, release. Last one, and exhale, pull, inhale, release. All right, going to the waist. So take your pelvis, push, feel that waist lift up. So we are flexing the side we're laying on. Push and release. Pull it in and release. Pull the hip up 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 and release. One more. Pull the hip up and release. Now adding this rib piece, and your hand is here for kind of sensory input. Push up and release. Push the ribs up into your hand and release. And up and release. Inhale up and release. Try to take a nice big breath. Inhale up, and it helps. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Your hip is still working, but now you've activated that middle back. Inhale up. Exhale, release. 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 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Rolling onto your spine. Soles of the feet flat. Just take a couple of nice big breaths here. Relax. Feel your back on the floor. So we've done a lot of core work without actually starting where most people start with core work, which is right here. Now, if you have neck issues, you can use your hands on these. We're not going to do very many of them. But, so what's a crunch? We have 3 layers of abdominals. Just lift up and come down. Inhale, exhale. Just lift your torso and come down. So you're feeling your ribs. And exhale, pull the ribs down to the waist. Inhale. Again. Exhale, pull and inhale. Exhale, pull and inhale. Again. Exhale, pull and inhale. So we're just exercising, right? Exhale, pull and release. Now, feel your head. There's a space probably between your neck and the floor. Now what I want you to do is you can either imagine sliding your head away from you, the back of your head away from you, or think of your jaw pulling in. So as you do that, pull your jaw in and feel the neck getting closer to the ground, and then release. Again, pull the jaw in and release. Again, pull the jaw in. Now you're starting to feel different muscles in that upper back. Extend, pull. You can feel different muscles working in your back just by really lengthening the neck. Now this is what we did when we were sitting. Now what we're going to do is lengthen the neck, pull the jaw in, take your nose, and then curl up and release. It's different. Again, lengthen the neck, pull, curl. Completely different than what we did. Is one right or wrong? No, they're just different. Different muscles, different ways to get at that. So lengthen, jaw, ribs, and release. And remember, if your neck gets tired, you can use your hands. Release, but mainly try to feel what's going on. Lengthen, jaw, pull, in, and release. 2 more. Lengthen, jaw, pull, down, and last one. Lengthen, jaw, pull, down, and release. Couple breaths. Now, some of you are feeling that this muscle here, going from the back of the jaw down to the collarbone on either side, maybe you feel like it's sore, it's tired. These are the sternocleidomastoids. It's helping pull the head into a forward flexion. These muscles on us are sometimes super weak. So that pain is really weakness. So, don't go into a place where you're starting to spasm, but let yourself get almost tired there before you give up and add your hands. Because most of the time, as we're laying here on our backs, when we're sitting, our heads are forward. So when our heads are forward, it's the back of the neck that works super hard. All right, so this is pretty much just upper. What about lower? All right, so if our feet are on the floor, we can tuck our tailbone, press the low back, feel the pubic bone pull, and release. And again, pull the pubic bone in, feel the low back, feels a stretch, and release. Just a couple more. Pull, but we're using our legs, right? And one more time. Pull, keep that. Pull your legs up. All right, so we're cross your ankles, let your knees be right here. We didn't do any low back stretching, but I'm feeling like we've worked quite a bit of that. So just let your hands rock your pelvis. Now, if we didn't have any legs, we would just have to grab our sit bones, I guess. All right, now what you're going to do is try to keep that rocking up with your stomach. So pubic bone pulls to the rib cage. And we're going to just do it kind of like we were rocking. So if you feel like you need to go back to hands on the knees, just do it this, all right? So we're just trying to get a little bit of engagement of that very low stomach and the obliques. So just pull and pull and pull. Try not to let your legs move. I'll get to that tomorrow. But right now we're just taking the pubic bone, pulling, spine is changing, pull. If you pull really hard, you can get a little pop of your pelvis off the ground if you want. You don't have to do that. After we do just a few more of these, you're starting to feel the muscles in the lower stomach work, right? What are we doing? Flexion. We're just flexing the spine. Just really motivating from the low stomach. Couple more. Pulling it in. Trying to do enough so that we know where it is and what it feels like. Couple more. Pull and pull and pull and then release. Let the legs go. Now just take a nice big breath into your belly. So I'm not really talking at all about let's exercise our core. I'm really just talking about what is the spine doing. So we're just going to do one more here. We're going to add that lower to the upper, so pick your legs up. Try no arms. This will be really slow. So extend your neck, chin, and pull, and release. So feeling the two ends coming together. Extend the neck, chin in, and pull, and release. Inhale. Exhale, long neck, chin, and pull, and release. And long neck, chin, and pull, and release. Just one more. And long neck, chin, and pull, and release. Feet down. So you can kind of feel the two ends coming together. I know I stopped that because I know that, for some of you, that was enough of this neck work for one day. And we have 3 more this week. All right. So we're going to end with the last action of the spine, which is the twist. Now, what I'm hoping that you're getting out of this is that if you want to move your spine, you have to have a core. So a strong core enables spinal movement. And we want to be able to move the spine, because when the segments of your spine stop moving, or clamp down on all the nerves coming out from the vertebrae, then you stop moving. And we want to keep moving. We want to have as much ability to move in as many directions as we want as possible. And that's how we stay healthy, and that's how we stay young, right? All right, so we're going to do kind of a weird twist. So sit with your knees bent and facing the right. And then we're going to come down onto our elbows. Now, for some of us, this is not that comfortable. So you're going to come down onto your elbows with your head on your arms. Now, if this is impossible, then what you need to do is get something and just make it a little bit easier. Lift that up. All right? So we're here. So you want to feel like your spine is coming right out of your pelvis. And so this is a passive twist, and why we're using our arms at first because of what I want you to work on this breath pattern. So my knees are to the right. I'm twisting to the right. And then what I want you to do is when you inhale, push into your left elbow a little bit and see if you can get your ribs on the left side to move to the left just a little bit. Inhale, push, and then exhale. Make sure you exhale all of your air so that you relax into this. Couple more of these pushes into the left side. Now what's happening to me is as I exhale, I'm feeling more of my spinal segments going into a twist. More of the muscles are releasing. And then if you can, just slide all the way down onto your chest. Turn your head to the right. Now for some of you, even this is pretty difficult. Maybe you're feeling a pull through your elbows. I mean, we can't do this without our arms here. Now, pick your head up so that your nose is touching. And we're going to turn right and then pull to the left. And look right and then pull center and try to go left. And take your eyes right and take your head to the left. And take your eyes right and take your eyes left. And take your eyes right and take your eyes left. And you'll be able to maybe do a few more inches every time. Exhale left, one more. Inhale right, exhale left, come down. Now, either keep your head center, or if you can, turn it to the left. For some of us, that's really hard. I can't get all the way over on this side. Just try to relax and breathe into it. There we go. And then we're going to come out of it by turning our head first, stretching our left arm forward, rolling onto our left side, and then rolling onto your back. Couple breaths. And then we're going to go to the other side. So legs pointed to the left. I know I'm kind of running out of time here. I'm sorry. Elbows down. Now, just push your breath into the right rib cage. Three or four of these. And then if you can, slide it down. And just pick your head up. Try to keep everything else relaxed. And we go left, center. Left, center. Now add your eyes. Look left, look center. Now go right and center. Look left through the center. Look right and center. Look left through the center. Look right and center. Look left and center. Look right and center. Eye magic. And left and center and right. Just one more. Center, left, center, right, and down. Head either left, center, or right. Just relax. Every time you exhale, let go of something else. Alright, now we're going to release this, stretch that arm, roll onto the right side, roll onto your back. We're not going to go into corpse. Just feel your back nice and flat on the ground. Feels pretty good. And then roll yourselves to center, to sitting. And I know I had to cut that last side a little short, but I'm already over quite a bit. I'm going to do that again tomorrow, the twist. And we'll keep going with the spine explorations. But again, the main thing out of this today is that we need to keep our spine moving. That's one of the things that yoga does really well. Yoga means union, and we're trying to integrate our physicality with everything else that we have behind our eyeballs. So that will also apply to what we're doing here, trying to make the connections of our brain, our patterns, to what we're doing to release things, to become aware of things. But that's the main thing for me with yoga, trying to become aware of as many things as you can, right here and out here, because we need all the information that we can get. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day.